So by on Labor Day, I think we meant after Labor Day. Twitter, only 140 characters. Things get lost in translation.
Welcome back to the Extraordinary Times. I am AJ. That was Jeremy. To get you a little heads up on what the chaos has been around here. Let's see, we had internet go out on Friday, didn't get it back till Saturday. Absolute chaos on Monday, yesterday. So here we are back, and everything's better now. Literally, we got faster internet. All right, first story of the day. Kind of not good news for the United States. The debt of the government has topped $16 trillion. Holy crap. This is really not good. This is going to slow down the economy a lot. You know, every time you hear, we're doing good, we're doing better, just look at the national debt and you can really tell what's going on. Now, to also cover who do we owe? Now, a lot of people say we owe China, we owe this person, we owe that person. Actually, when you look into it, we mostly owe ourselves. Now, that doesn't really make too much sense, but, the government, so yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Mostly, we actually owe the Social Security program, which is also not good because that means a lot of people that are going to be retiring are not going to have that cushion to cash them if they don't happen to have enough when they retire. So, Speaking of government, since we covered the RNC last week, we're going to have to cover the Democratic National Convention this week. Should be interesting. First story out of that is there's actually a campaign out there for Betty White to speak at the DNC. Now, last week, Clint Eastwood spoke at the RNC, which I'm going to try and find a link and put right here. If there's no link here, I didn't find it. But it was absolutely awesome. Some people say he rambled a bit. I think it was actually very well put together and very heartfelt. It made him seem a little more human and just more intelligent in my mind. So this campaign is trying to basically get a counterpart to Clint Eastwood with Betty White. This should be interesting. She's shown that she is still a major player in the comedy area, and I actually do want to see her speak. And for another little thing from the Charlotte Convention, the Occupy protesters are making themselves heard. Now, they were at the RNC a little tiny bit, but they were so small and just didn't really do much that we really didn't even have any reason to cover them. However, they are making their presence known at the DNC, and in fact, calling Obama a traitor to their cause, protesting against free speech zones. All in all, this is crazy. They're blocking traffic. They're blocking, people's entrance into the DNC. They're setting up tents, as one of the cops pointed out. So this is, as the vice president of the Maryland State Conference NAACP said, that's not good. And just to cover a couple of the little changes in the Democratic Party since last time around, 2008, the party has actually dropped the word Jerusalem from their platform as in the capital of Israel. And so they're just showing right there they don't support Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And they've also dropped the word God. Now they still have a thing about faith, but they've just completely rewritten the paragraph about their God-given potential to say something completely different. And it's just, to me, it's just them once again taking a step away from faith and towards, secularism. All in all, I just have to agree with Chuck Norris in his remark that the country is at a tipping point. We can move one direction or the other, but one way could tip us off the edge. And now for something completely different, because I can only do so much politics before I just go on a complete rant. McDonald's is opening its first few vegetarian-only restaurants. Over in India, anyway. They've never done anything like this before. They have done something, where they don't serve beef in certain parts of India and all of that because the cow is sacred to one of their major religions. But another one, Sikhism, is pure vegetarian, and they've decided to really get around this. For me, I'm just trying to think of what will they be serving? I mean, last I heard, they only had like 1 or 2 salads, maybe lots of French fries. Either way, on to NASA news. Well, kind of. The Shuttle Endeavour that's being moved to LA is stirring up a few ruffled feathers, simply because to move it where they need to put it, it's going to have to be trucked across South LA for 2 days, holy crap, and they're going to have to uproot 400 trees just to do so. A lot of people are in uproar over this simply because you take out trees from an area. I have experience with this. It can raise the temperature by 10 degrees, at least on the ground. Utterly horrendous. They say they're going to double the amount of trees, but it doesn't matter. These are old trees, and it's going to take at least 100 years to reach the same size as the trees they're pulling out. So, not so good about this. Some people are saying, well, why can't they just dismantle it? Sorry, you can't just dismantle a shuttle like you can a plane. It doesn't work like that. It's like hermetically sealed on the bottom. All I can really say is you wouldn't be having this problem if you just kept it in Houston. And I'm getting all riled up again, so food! Yay! The University of Massachusetts has entered the Guinness Book of World Records again by making a 6,700-pound seafood stew. Now, they actually made a record a while ago by making a 2-ton stir-fry a couple of years ago. They actually used the same pan for the seafood. This is absolutely crazy. This massive amount of food. I just kind of think that, if there's even one bit of bad seafood in there, there'd be a lot of problems, but so far, nothing coming out of that. But I mean, come on. 1,725 pounds of half and half, 1,137 pounds of potatoes, 575 pounds of onions, 145 pounds of bacon, and 1,000 pounds of mussel, lobster, clams, haddock, and salmon. All of which are from sustainable sources. All the vegetables are from local areas, so they're supporting their local people and all of that. So, good on you, wish I was there. And for our last story of the day, on over to Verona, Cincinnati, where there was a 92-year-old man by the name of Earl Jones, who was, just kind of sitting around his house, and then suddenly heard noise coming from his basement. So he went and got his .22 caliber rifle, went back over to his chair, sat down, and just stared at the basement door for a while until, well, a crook burst through. He then shot said man in the chest, one shot. The guy died. His buddies tried to move him and everything. Either way, he just completely stopped this robbery from happening. This World War II veteran. The cops took care of everything. They set charges on the other 2 guys that survived. Of course, the one crook is dead. This is just absolutely amazing to me. This is why people need to have guns in their homes, something like this. What would have happened if this 92-year-old veteran had not had a weapon to protect himself when these guys had broken in? Which, by the way, these guys probably would have had guns themselves. Bad things would have happened. Overall, he's safe, his stuff is safe, and his gun is safe. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on Extraordinary Times. Come back tomorrow to join Jeremy as he covers further news. Like it if you liked it here, favorite, wherever, all over there. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Please watch on YouTube. Share us with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And always, be aware. I can hear you. Why are you so close to me?
I don't know.